I feel like I don't even really go like inherently. I don't really care about this like a lot of shit either. But it's like a lot of times I'm just like, okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. All right, now we good. I mean,
You're
like inherently, I really don't care about shit. Hold on. Let me put a little thing in the chat real quick. Hold on. This Twitch stream is still fun. I ain't gonna cap. Yeah, see that one-handed typing working, huh?
what's up?
One-handed typing.
Oh yeah, the pecking method.
Boom. Today's discussion. Mm. I can't do all that shit. You ain't ambidextrous. I can't. Nigga, my left hand be just. My right hand do this. My left hand
Freeze.
just like yeah and shit like that. After I did break my arm. I forgot. Today's discussion, not. Wait, hold on. Put a colon, a semicolon. Not giving a fuck. Oh, and Kyle's in the chat.
What's up,
And
Kyle?
Kyle's in the chat. No,
What's
Kyle,
up,
bro. Today's discussion is not giving a fuck, bro.
What's up, big dog?
Cause like, oh, really? Cause like, same thing with like a lot of this shit, like on social media, TikTok, a lot of the stuff about all the relationship stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think like what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, because I remember the other night when we were talking all together, and I talked about esocentric versus exocentric religion,
Mm-hmm.
and like it was talking about how like a lot of like basic Christianity within our world kind of talks about the on a broader scale, kind of like exocentric religion in the sense of like how can we change the world around us? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't necessarily preach the right thing because it gives a lot of people a sense of like high and mightiness over other people just because they don't do or live their life exactly to what they perceive they should, I guess. And then
You
while
talking about like
Christianity.
yeah, okay.
And so like while esocentric religion is and Christianity is an esocentric religion, but it's taught exocentrically because it talks about especially like
Explain extrocentric
esocentric versus exocentric.
versus extrocentric.
So yeah, so before I'm gonna turn this
Air on. It is kind of hot in here. I ain't gonna lie. I forget you.
I mean, like, it just doesn't circulate in here that well. There's a window air unit. But, basically how, like, exocentric is exo. So, like, outside versus eso is inside. So it's like religion of the outside world versus religion of the inside world. And I think it's like,
meaning like yourself.
yeah. And so, I think what it was hitting on was that how about, the only well, first of all, we have no room to judge others because we ain't nowhere near perfect. You know,
Perfect, yeah, yeah.
exactly. So, but going with that, it goes back to the esocentric of like making sure you're okay and making sure you're good and where you need to be in order to then change the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like even like you've watched Jordan Peterson before. I've shown you Jordan Peterson.
You show me.
And it's like he said one quote is like before you try to change the world, make your bed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make sure your bed made. Make sure your room clean. Make sure your dishes done. Make sure you're like.
That kind of goes with like you can't really help anybody else unless yourself is good.
Mhm.
You gotta make sure you right before you can make sure anybody else is right.
And I think that like I don't like I hate like because a lot of people just blame Christianity for it, but I think it's just taught wrong. You know, not that it's taught wrong, but I think it's just taught out of order. You know what I'm saying? Because like
I just think it's just taught. It's taught in a very like a simple mindset. It's not really explain how, like at least for me growing up in like the church, like it wasn't really explained how we're a part, like we're a makeup, we're like we're gods essentially of our own world. So we control what happens and what we do
Mm-hmm.
in our life. So a lot of times, like people, it's not taught like it's all taught like you do this, you gotta do this right, you gotta act this certain way, and a certain stuff. It's like rules, and it's not like taught to like kind of self evaluate or
And self-reflect.
yeah, self reflect in a way.
And be like introspective toward yourself.
Yeah, because people like a lot of Christians be like I do this, but I don't do that. I don't go sleeping with other people's wives, and I do this, but I don't go murder. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's all the same essentially.
Yeah, sin is sin,
Yeah,
regardless.
but that's how it's basically. You gotta take society's rules and system out of religion for it to. I feel like for it to be effective,
Mm-hmm.
because you have rules that we go by in like law.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the rules of the world essentially. Like you have rules that the Bible lists and all that. Then you try to follow two sets of rules, and these rules overlap. Like this rule, like murdering is super is horrible right here,
Mm-hmm.
but in the Bible, murdering is just like sleeping with somebody's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of categorize our
Everybody.
categorize
Everybody. And it's like, because I think we can all be categorized because, like, as humans on a basic innate level, we all do more or less the same shit. We all got the same 24 hours in a day. We all wake up in the morning. We all go to bed at night. We all eat 3 times a day. Or we should all be eating 3 times a day
Yeah,
at least.
probably eat 3 times
You know
a
what I'm saying? Make sure your body good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also, like, I think, like, getting out of the generalization of just us being humans comes down to the individual. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times we forget to see ourselves as. I feel like we're. Sometimes it's weird. I don't know. Because, like, we forget to see ourselves as individuals because we're in the world, but also we tend to individualize ourselves because the world doesn't necessarily add up to what we think it should be. If that makes sense.
Everybody has their different.
Yeah, we all delusional. We all delusional as shit. We all, like, in a sense, because, like, that's why I can't start saying, like, the whole not everybody thinks like me. Because, like, because a lot of times I'm sitting there thinking, like, why the fuck does someone do some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? And, like, or if, like, someone's being, like, I perceive them as being disrespectful. And it's like, man, you don't. I was talking about this about Kyle. I was like, you don't know if they're having a bad day. You don't know if they're having. Even though, I mean, like,
know what they're going through.
if you're having a bad, I mean, like.
Might be having a bad year.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
You never know.
And like everybody's reacts differently. But, again, it's like that, like, now that I'm kind of getting, like, it just comes with maturity, especially, like, we about to be 24, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and so it's really that kind of like that, like, level of, like, getting to, like, a place of being, like, hardcore mature about stuff, and especially because, like, everything around us is immature as shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's more of a battle nowadays because there's so much getting pushed around everywhere. TikTok, social media, like
social media is ruining our attention
brains,
and it's
our perception of everything.
Oh, so that meeting, the site visit I went to yesterday.
Yeah.
The dude is super cool. So he's been doing engineering for like 20 years now. He graduated in like '99, but he worked for a couple of firms and now he's doing custom homes. It's kind of like what I want to do. And he's kind of giving us like little life lessons about how how us as people, as black people, are treated within like engineering, and how like the system is like it's not necessarily built to harm us, but it's not built to help us either, you know. And so we have to kind of fight a little extra to do stuff. And he's talking about how in today's time, like, we have so many distractions, and he said if you're able to limit your distractions and concentrate your focus, like you can do just about anything. He said that's a main problem with us engineers now. We have so many distractions and so many things we want to focus on, so many things we want to do. And it's like this, like, especially when you're in school, it's definitely not the time to be distracted by a bunch of stuff.
Anything else but what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, it's like
So I saw that early. I saw that early on. I mean, you probably saw it too at like freshman year of college and stuff like that. Like just that the stark difference between like people who actually give a fuck about school, like who are there for school,
Yeah.
versus people who are there just to have fun and like be out the house. You know what I'm saying? Not having to listen to their parents and stuff. And it's like, and like now I'm like looking back on it, and it's like that's like around that time when I like realized even like certain instances of like when I was just trying to strive. That's why I brought up football and stuff. Like I was trying to strive for like a bigger goal that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I got caught up with so much shit that didn't matter in the long run,
like,
bro.
It's like so much things you can do. So many, especially now. Like we're connected with a bunch of different people, and so it's like it's not even our individual thinking anymore. It's like our thinking is basically altered by other people and like what other people say, what other people do, what we see on social media. It's just like we're not individual like really.
We don't really perceive ourselves as individuals as much as we do.
Yeah, because like it's like so many like we know so much about
Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the information is just right there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to know anything, you just go on the computer right there and just Google it.
Honestly.
That was interesting. You were talking about like how like, well, we talked about that the other day too when we were eating all together, and about how like how engineering. You talk about how engineering is different for like black people versus like how just like the structure of it is like not necessarily set up against y'all, but like or against us, but in a sense it is gonna be harder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that too with how I think it was one of our old teachers in high. I think it was Coach O. He was talking about how they had kids from China and kids from America do the same exact problems, and they found that it's not that the kids from America weren't able to figure out the problem; is that the kids from China were more inclined to work at figuring out what it is.
That relates to the book I'm reading right now. It's called Mindset. It's like a psychology book, and it's basically it breaks people into two categories. You got people who are in that growth mindset. You have people who are in that just what's the basic mindset. And the growth mindset is like
it's like survival mode almost.
Yeah, so it's like how he explain. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
how he explains it is
I don't know if y'all hear that. If y'all hear that shit, leave a comment.
But like it basically explains like how they gave like kids like problems like puzzles to do, right? And so some kids when asked if they wanted a more challenging puzzle, some kids was like, yeah, I'll do a more challenging puzzle that they have to complete, and other kids was like, no, I don't want to do a challenge, but I'll do the same puzzle I did, so because I already know how to do that puzzle. And it's like certain kids want to kind of expand their mind and kind of like learning and not complacent in where their like mind is right now. And so it just goes like deep into like how people kind of think and how their mindset is based on how they want to grow and how some people don't want to grow. They kind of want like the easy way out. And it's just like it's super interesting. I've been reading it for like a couple weeks now, not really too far in, but it's definitely like changed my perspective on how I like do stuff. And sometimes I like do bad on a test. I'm like, freak, this professor's tripping. Like he graded my paper wrong and whatever. And on the other hand, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna work harder. I'm just gonna study harder, do more work, so we won't have that chance to.
I had a story for that too, bro. I had a story for that one too. It was freshman year at Blinn. I was taking a business algebra test, and I took one, and I got a 99 on it. And I was like, I got a 99. So I was looking, I was like, okay, what kept me from 100? Like, so I went back through the test and everything. I was like, why didn't I get 100? And one of the answers, I think I told you about this. One of the answers was like 44 that I wrote down, and she literally took off 1 point. She was like, "Well, the answer was 44. All right, the answer's 44, but she took off a point. She's like, well, I can tell that's a 4, but I can't tell if that one's a 4. I'm like, because I wrote it kind of looking like a 9. I mean, I'll give her that one. Kind of looking like a 9. I was like, but you didn't take off full credit, so you know the answer is 44.
Yeah, you knew it was right. So
She's like, yeah, but I can't tell what it is. What like, what does it matter? You see what I meant? And she was like, and then she asked me, why do you? She asked me, why do you care? You got 99. I'm like, I got a 99. Bitch, I could have had 100.
yeah,
Bitch, I could have, you know what I'm saying? So the next test, I was like, fuck that. I'm not getting one question wrong on this. I'm not even giving her a reason to take off a point this test.
yeah,
Am I right? Everything legibly, and I know everything gonna be right.
yeah.
So that's just exactly what I did. Got like a 104, 105. I'm like, bitch,
Yeah,
like why you like? It's like in that sense, it's like, why do you not want me to get a better grade?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I was
Especially
thinking. Like,
if you're the professor, it kind of looks better on you.
that's what I'm saying. Like, why do you not? Why is it so big? It's such a big deal that you had to take off a point, or just just 1 point.
Bro, it's crazy.
This is
bro.
not an English or ELA
Crazy,
test about how legibly I can write. This is a math test
Exactly.
about me getting the answer right.
I got the answer right too. So.
And you thinking I might have put 40? It was a headache. But again, like, just like it's. I think it sucks because like more people just hate to have to do work for themselves than like. Cause back then, like, it was like, oh, like, it was second nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, you ain't gonna give me what I want. I'm gonna get what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's like now it's like it just seems a lot more like everybody's just trying to go for some shit that's not. Everybody's just trying to go for something. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much stuff out here to go. There's so many targets out here to aim for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's hard to keep funnel your focus.
Mhm.
I think.
And especially, bro, like, especially at this age. I think this is why this topic has been hitting me so hard with this, like, dating and women and stuff like that. Is because, like, it's such the trap door for every guy is there, bro.
Yeah,
It's wide open. Especially like,
let yourself get caught, you're gonna get caught.
especially if you're a smart dude, like, getting your stuff done for yourself, you know what I mean? And, like, I say it because, like, I feel like we didn't have as much attention from, like, in early years, you know what I'm saying? It was harder to get attention like that. And then, like, now that we kind of grown into ourselves a little bit more, it's like more natural, you know, like we're getting attention that we used to not get. And I was like, for me at least, it's kind of like, damn, how do I handle this shit? You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I go? It's like, do I go for it? It's like putting a treat in front of a dog and say, don't touch it, don't touch it, and then the dog's sitting there just like. I want that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And it's right there in front of you. It's like don't touch it. But again, you don't have nobody telling you not to touch it. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Like you at the house. Exactly. You at the house. You don't got your parents. You don't got. And the most you're gonna have is your homeboys. You know what I'm saying? You don't got coaches. You don't got like there's not as much structure around you. And I think like that's why. Especially when I went through that little, you remember when we were living together, like summer 2021, nigga. I hated everything. Like I hated everything. I hated everything. What, bro? But like that's why I got back into school because I was like, bro, I need some kind of other structure. You know what I'm saying? To keep me going. And like it's good to have a structured life. Having a structured life is the key, honestly, and having like a balanced life for yourself before you can kind of throw other things into it.
Part of it is you gotta structure your own life. You gotta know, you gotta prioritize tasks, and you don't necessarily have to have a daily calendar, but you gotta know what you have to do within a day to get towards your goals. If you want to improve. If you don't want to improve, then you can just go about your day doing whatever you want and not caring or whatever about whatever, and just go through the motions type shit.
It's just easy to do that shit.
Yeah,
way too easy. Move that little thing out the chat real quick. But yeah, no, yeah, they just like I said, especially for like I said, I mainly say this to like guys who are our age, especially, because like you gotta find it's different, especially us being black. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It throws
people working against us trying to or preying on our downfall, essentially. So
the people out here don't want us to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Back to what I was saying about the dude yesterday. He said he's doing a plat for a house. So plat is basically where you draw up the bounds of your whatever land you're about to develop. And so he said that he already had everything. Already had all his land, all his fill and stuff, all his sand. Already had the foundation on the land or whatever. And he just needed surveyors to come out and just check it, so it can get approved by the city
Mm.
of Houston. And so he said that the surveyors came out and like you already spent like thousands and thousands of dollars getting what you developed already developed.
Mm.
And so the surveyors came out and they did the plat or whatever, and for every like block or every like I'm trying to think of the actual technical term, but every like land you the section of land that you're development, it has already have like benchmarks that marks the land.
Would it be quadrant?
No, not
No?
quadrant. It's like it's just it's
Sector?
no, it's a section of the land. So
Hmm.
it's like not the block, but like the individual houses within on the block. I don't know
Okay.
why I went blank for that word, but he basically said that they came in and basically
Hold the mic a little closer to you.
they did their survey, and they basically said that how he had his land, he's over the property line and everything. Where he had his building was over the property line, and that's not he gonna have to deconstruct everything and redo everything. And so he went back and he found the marker, the benchmarks, or whatever that's been there since he said since like the 70s or whatever. That's been like they haven't changed since the 70s. And the surveys that came out was like, no, this is wrong, this is wrong. They put their own marker, their new marker for a new plat, and like
Mm.
and they how they had it is they had the section of the property like just straight like this, like just straight just like zero angle, and the property is also like actually just like tilted by like 1 or 2%, and so like if you go expand,
Hold the mic a little closer to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you go like if you expand like 300 feet, that a 1% or 2% curve in the property is going to be like a 5 feet difference from wherever your marker is.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said basically he had to basically replat the land. He had to go to the city and show them that this is where the marker is. This is where it's been since the 70s, and like
50 years.
yeah,
50
it's
damn
like,
near.
I don't see why they're trying to change it. And he said it's like it's just he said it's like a bunch of other stuff that he said that is like kind of trying to make him like fail almost, because he has his license, he's a PE, he's doing his own thing, he got investors, he don't spend any money on properties, he get investors to build properties, and he makes money off the properties.
So he doing this shit.
Yeah, he's doing his shit.
Yeah.
And so like it's like he says a bunch of little stuff that he had to deal with, like just building properties and stuff that other builders and other contracts don't even have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And he said there's another instance where they said he had to rebuild the sidewalk, so it's already existing sidewalk on the side of the property, and he had to redo the sidewalk, so break it up and redo the whole thing. And so he went, and it's people developing land across the street or whatever. He said, okay, why they don't have to redo the sidewalk? He said, oh, we just didn't catch them. That's really what all the
of course.
Like, oh, we just didn't catch them. It's like, okay, but now, so you ain't gonna correct them. And so it's like stuff like that that's just people are trying to just make it harder for you to do anything.
Yeah, and because it all goes back, like a lot of people. I hate it because, like, we'll tell people, like, especially from like what stuff goes on in the black community like that, and it's kind of like another kind of like complaint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, why you complaining? Now, even then, like, remember? Do you remember? It was a while ago, but I remember like this black couple was selling their house, and they were trying to get it appraised. And when they got it appraised, it came a lot lower than what they were expecting.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, and once they made it, decorated it like a white family lived there, it got appraised for like $100K more.
Yeah.
And it's like
crazy.
the same exact house, bro. Same exact house, but the fact that black people live there brings the property level, lowers the property value.
I'm telling you, bro.
And it just kind of like, it shows how much, like, it's weird, bro, because we're especially as black people, bro, we're valued, but we're also not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
valuable, we're not cared about.
you know, it's like only when to where like we're seen as like worthy of being cared about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's you know, i.e., you either make money or even him, even the guy you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if he making money, it's still gonna be like hoop after hoop after hoop you have to jump through.
Yeah.
Sometimes it seems like for no fucking reason. You know what I'm
Which
saying?
a lot of times is no fucking reason.
There is no
behind it.
reason.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just because people are shit sometimes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
people just have their ways of thinking and just.
But like I said, he still just went through it, did what he had to do, and still just came out the other side doing the same thing. You know?
He's like from looking at him as an engineer, like a developed engineer, like doing his thing. Like he like inspirational in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but that man is on a different level. He said he's trying to become a lawyer so he can start suing people for doing shit like that. I was like, bro, you can go a lot.
You about to go to a lot.
You got your PE already. No, no,
what's
that shit hard.
what's a PE?
The PE is like a professional engineer, so you can
Oh,
sign
shit.
off on whatever plans or whatever.
Anything.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And so I was like, bro, you already got your PE. Now you need trying to go to
Be
law
a
school.
lawyer?
Yeah, like
Construction,
bro,
like a property lawyer.
yeah, like bro, you doing
What?
a lot. It ain't crazy, dog.
I mean, honestly, I mean, once you got that level, but damn, fuck. I would have to have him on the podcast and be like, when you have to go through like another 8 years of school for that?
Yeah,
Goddamn 12 years of school for that
that
shit, damn
man
near.
is on a different level. I'm telling you, bro. But he's super cool and like he super like down to earth. He'll talk to you. He's super pro people, pro for like people that are being oppressed. Like he doing this thing out here, and I'm like, damn, I'm trying to get like that, you know.
See, I was gonna watch this little video that got on the screen right now. Like, what do you think about that?
Which one?
The one with Jay-Z and Rihanna on it. Why black capitalism will never work. I was gonna save that because I had this topic in mind,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm gonna save that for later
Yeah, I don't
because
even know what to think about that.
I don't know, cause like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, black people be overpricing their shit so much.
You gotta think, we're competing against so many people and
To make money,
yeah, we're already devalued by a lot of people and not seen as like worthy as for to a lot of people. So it's like we try to do what we can to get up, you know. And sometimes it doesn't come out as like, oh, you ain't for the people, like, bro, I'm trying to grind myself, you know. I'm trying to do my thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I especially when it comes to the black community, cause sometimes I'm like, man, what does the black community need? You know,
The black community just need. Like,
I can't.
I don't even know.
It's something I'll say I try to avoid talking about it because people just get so fucking like emotional and opinionated about this shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm black. Yes, nobody can tell. Actually, I got asked that the other day if I was African American.
Bro.
Yeah, it would caught me off guard, nigga.
I got asked if I was from America, but I never been asked
What the
if I was
fuck?
black. I don't know what that was about.
I was like, "Are you African American?" I was like, "No, no,
No.
I'm not black. I'm CJ." Okay. Nah, I'm still black, regardless. But yeah, no, like, I wouldn't say like it's. I would say it's like it is different for us, obviously, because we just have a different view of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're taught that not necessarily taught to fear the world, but also taught to move carefully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what can happen, and the fact that like there's people who just don't like us because of the color of our skin. You know, which I mean, it sucks, but also it's kind of fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like being like it's like a low key, like a little exciting element to being black. It's like
it's cool. Like if you have actually like connect with like people, you have like understanding about yourself. It's like you gain that appreciation for who you are. You're like, oh, like my people are so amazing. We do so many good things, but it's like it's also like people like you hear so many negative things about the black community. And once you actually like dig in and actually spend time with black people and actually learn the history, you're like, oh, this is amazing. Like what they're saying is like not even like right. Like they putting down our people and making us look bad or whatever.
It's but especially going to HBCU, especially
Oh
like,
yeah,
'cause my dad talked about that too, about how like going to Hampton, and especially because Hampton's like a. Did I show you a picture of Hampton?
Hampton.
Yeah.
I seen pictures of Hampton before.
It's like an Ivy League campus, bro. Like it's literally like, cause it's up in the north. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he said there's like there's something different about being in a place where there's just a bunch of educated black people.
Yes.
Yeah, like it changes your
mind
whole
blowing,
perspective,
yeah.
especially for him, cause like he came from the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He came from the straight hood, like Jacksonville, Florida.
All you see is niggas.
Exactly. So like in his man, he's like, I'm tired of niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but then like he said, you get to a point where you get to a spot where there's nothing but people, especially people who look like you, who are educated and actually going for something in life other than like just money and stuff like that. You know. And which that's another thing, is that money comes and goes, bro.
Yeah.
Money comes and goes.
Focus on money.
Women come and go. You know, and so I think we always get fixated on these little like short term gratifications. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's really a big problem now, especially. Like
I think that's where I'm at too, because like for a while I just got so digging into like, man, like I only want to talk to a girl unless I'm hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like after a while, bro, it just leaves you in a much more lonely spot, and like you're sitting there like, you know, just wondering like, oh, why doesn't shit work out? You know, and it's like, but like again, it goes back to, 'cause I started watching a lot of this shit after I broke up after I got out of my relationship, and we talked about that earlier too, when cause you went through your shit and I was giving you advice, and then I went through my shit. The roles were flipped, nigga. I forgot every goddamn thing I said to this nigga.
Remind you, know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then I fell into this trap of watching like YouTube and shit, of just like all this stuff about, again, the generalization trap. You know, about generalizing just everybody. And I think that I think the biggest thing, especially with like that ties these podcasts, like the Fresh and Fit podcast, because regardless, I'm gonna do some reaction videos of that shit. The shit's comedy gold. I ain't gonna lie to you. The shit is some entertainment. It's some content. They be acting fools, but like, and especially like the other one with the white girl on there is in London, the Pearl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like a lot of the stuff they say is not, of course, is not all the way, I wouldn't say incorrect. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, especially when it comes to like, 'cause I was thinking about it with Christianity before you came in. I was like, it says to love everybody, but you should love everybody with discretion. You know what I'm saying? With some discretion. And I said the same thing about that. It's like, this stuff is good to watch. It's fun to watch. I ain't gonna say it's good to watch, but it's fun to watch. But you have to watch it with discretion, because you got to remember that these are completely different people you're not even gonna meet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just see them on
you
know. That's the thing about a podcast, though, which is so crazy about it, is that like you just watching a podcast and you feel like you just know that person, because you're literally a fly on the wall watching a podcast and watching two people getting like a in-depth like look at somebody's brain. You know what I'm saying? Because like we sitting here just talking about shit, and somebody else is watching it and thinking like, I don't know what the hell people thinking. You know, comment there. Let me know what you're thinking. But yeah, no, especially with that, I said watch it with some discretion, because you got to remember that the world is just not like this one video. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing with TikTok, same thing with Twitter, same thing with Snapchat, same thing with Tinder, same thing with everything. The world is not like this small snapshot of what you see right here. And sometimes it'd be hard. I wasn't gonna say it's fearful getting back out there, but sometimes you just kind of like, especially after you watching this shit, it's like, how the fuck does shit work? You know what I'm saying? You get so confused about shit. And that goes back to what I said about just like making sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? Before anything else.
That's the most important thing. I struggled with that for a minute. So after my break, I went through like a slump, and I was like, I went through like a little slump. It's like probably a couple months. I was just not motivated to do anything.
You don't feel like yourself.
Yeah, I was trying to like figure out like what I wanted to do, type shit, and like I don't know. This is like one day I just like it just hit me. I was like, you know what? Fuck all that shit. You know, I'm about to grind and like go off. So like I don't feel like I'm losing anything. I said I'll be comfortable with myself, type shit, and like I won't necessarily need a person, and that person be just a accessory. necessary.
Yeah, comparing yourself to other people is a downfall of happiness. I'll say that much too.
What?
That's how I realized I ain't been happy since I was like 3. like I really 4 or 5, nigga. Like
Yeah.
because I remember it was like something little. It was like in grade school or something. And I remember I was like the first time I ever compared myself to somebody was when we got our grades back. You know.
Yeah.
And it was like I remember riding the bus. Everybody got their report cards back, and like one kid had like 100 or something. I had like a 91, and it's like I got an A minus, and he has 100. And it's like, and like, even then, like the kid's like, "Dang, you got an A minus?" Like you don't realize like you only see that you're doing less than what that person is doing.
Yeah.
But then like you don't realize, nigga, I made an A. I made a, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you in the top, you in the upper echelon. You know what I'm saying? You just only see what you see compared to other people. And like, I guess you can compare yourself to. I mean, you should never compare yourself to other people because again, we're all individuals. We should all take ourselves as individuals and take everybody else as individuals too. It's hard. It's hard too sometimes, but at the same time, it's really easy once you simply not give a fuck. And so, and along with that too, we gonna charge it to the game. I remember, but we should have done this podcast a minute ago, nigga. Charge it to the motherfucking game. Anything that you don't, hey, if you have something to charge to the game right now, put it in the comment section. All right. Charge it, whether it's a breakup, whether it was money, whether it was like something, man. Cause life just happens.
Say fuck it and move on.
Life just happens, and that's one of the things. Is like what's good, what's good will happen regardless, and what's bad is gonna happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? And you just kind of gotta somewhat be prepared for that shit.
You gotta be able to adjust and not reevaluate the situation, but kind of
just a little bit of a reevaluation, but like just again see where you are now. You know, because where you are now wasn't where you are a year ago when you are gonna be, and it's not where you're gonna be in another year. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you keep doing the same shit, unless you keep doing the same shit.
Yeah, you should always trying to improve.
Yeah, you keep doing the same shit, you're gonna end up right back where you started. You know. And you know, like same thing, like, cause a year ago, nigga, we was in a duplex. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I remember Alex said something about that shit, and he's like, "Man, y'all remember like last year, like this time, y'all moving out duplex?" I was like, "Nigga, what?" Like, nigga, what? And it's like I'm sitting here thinking like, this year went by fast as shit. And then like he told me, "Bro, you were living in a duplex last year." It's like, this year was long as shit. It's like this year was long. I feel like I lived like 2 or 3 different lives in that year. You know what I'm saying?
Different situations, work different places.
Yeah, switch jobs, switch houses, switch people, switch.
I switch my bitches up.
Switch everything. I'm telling you, bro.
Everything.
I said people. I said people. I ain't want to say bitches, but hey, fuck it. But no, yeah, though I'm worried. See, like again, like that's one thing, cause like once you focus on yourself, all that other stuff is gonna come, you know?
Yeah.
And like just find like my thing was like finding whatever focus I was. But even with the podcast, I was having that trouble of like, man, what do I really want to talk about, you know? And it's like I can talk about what the fuck ever. It's like, as y'all can see. And if anybody really is watched my podcast or really like seen or even just hear me talk in general, like I'll talk about what the fuck ever.
You can talk about whatever.
And like cause it goes back to like a bunch of what I saw on social media was just filled with this shit of like just, you know, just relationship struggles, and just not even like I say relationship struggles, but overall, I think it's overall societal relational dynamics. Cause like how do we even relate to other people, like besides people we just want to just sleep with, you know, or people we want to be with. I'll say that, make it sound better, but but I mean, it's in the same kind of it comes from the same breath, cause in the sense that like as guys, you know, it's always it's innately there, you know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, bro, it's not that big, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And I think that like so many people around me made it such a big deal, you know, cause I remember again at Blend, like, you know, people asked me like, oh, man, you went hung out with a girl, you smashing, right? It's like, no, we chilling, and it's like, oh, why you not smashing? It's like,
cause I ain't trying.
I was like that, damn.
I was all about
and like, and that's when niggas call you gay and shit, bro. It's like,
bro, you lame.
God, it's like,
smash, nigga. Obviously not. You ain't hanging out with her, nigga.
You not do exactly.
Like, niggas always have something to say, bro.
And it's like,
people always have something to say about something. You just gotta brush it off and just go.
Literally, like I was like thinking, like why do I give a fuck about all this shit? It's like because they saying it to me in the first place,
Yeah, somebody
and it's
always have
like,
a problem with something. Just,
and I think that's my biggest thing. Is like, why are you saying this to me if I'm like, but it's like, I didn't know. Like, Caleb, you don't have to care. It's like, what?
wait,
It's,
what?
it's like, what? I
Wait,
don't.
no,
I don't. It's like you don't have to give a fuck. I was like, I can just say fuck them and leave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just walk off.
yeah, that's an option. It's like, but then it goes back to like, why would I do that? And it's like it goes back to kind of like the Christianity roots of like, why would I? That's not a nice thing to do. It's like, well, they're not nice people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're not nice. And again, it goes back to like love everybody with discretion. You know what I'm saying? And do everything with some discretion. You know.
I think love, like love everybody in a sense. It means like
Respect.
yeah, it's like respect. You don't have to go out your way to do something for somebody, but you gotta have like respect. You gotta understand that they have their life too, and like they might be going through whatever, and you can't you just gotta have like the best intentions for everybody, like the best intentions for everybody.
I think it goes back to like like a lot of people just want their feelings coddled instead of like, because nobody wants their feelings hurt. You know, but everybody wants their feelings like caught. I bring back the PC culture, politically correct culture. I think everybody needs to not give a fuck. Cause I think that's we got to the point in society where everybody just gives too much of a fuck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Care about whatever, like everything.
Man, I remember.
Stuff that don't even don't even pertain to you.
Bro, I was at the shop one time and like I saw like an instance of it because I remember these two girls came in, right? And this is where I, like the pronouns and stuff, like this is where I realized I was out of touch with this, whatever this is, bro. Like, cause they said like they walked in, I was, hey, how's it going? What can we do for you? She points to her friend and she said, yeah, they're looking for a so and so, and I was caught so off guard, bro, cause like I literally look at them and then look past them like someone else coming behind them.
Yeah.
I thought somebody was coming behind them because she said they. She said they were looking for her. And then I look past them and look at her and it hit me. I'm like, oh, she thinks she's multiple people. It's like
I don't even know if it's I don't even understand.
I didn't understand. I was like, and it's like if I call you she, you're gonna get mad. Like, and people call me she, I don't even get mad, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't even know if
what's it? Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers. The price is lower. Man, I don't know. Get the hell out of my. Hey, I'm not mad at it, bro. But like, we'll worry about that stuff later, bro. I got stuff to say first. All right, we're about promotion and other stuff later. I'm Caleb Jackson. I can promote myself. I'm not too prideful. 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 But I mean, I just got something to say before I get to the actual part of like all that extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's somewhere I want to be in my life, but I'm too good at talking to people and just getting other people's perspective on certain things to really try to usher that right now. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like I just said, money's gonna come.
Yeah.
Things are gonna come and they're also gonna go. You know? And it's like you gotta be. You gotta be just no matter what happens, you just gotta be right here, just calm, just right here, bro. Just relax.
Like in your little bubble, people throwing stuff at you is bouncing off the bubble. Man.
But not necessarily live in that bubble of just like what you know. You also gotta live in the world, but live in your bubble in the world.
You walk around in your bubble.
In the world.
In the world.
Yeah, it's like because you don't want it to seem like cause I felt like I've walked in a bubble before, and sometimes it's like it's not necessarily it's not a bad thing, but also it's like sometimes you feel like the outside world is just there to a point where you can't touch it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're just kind of like you got like a shield around you, and it's like just live in the world and live in yourself. Just live in general. You know, be alive. I think that was one of the other things about it was that like there's just not a big it's just a big sentiment go around that just a bunch of people just don't want to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Because I think like the how should I say it?
Not even it's like not even like to make it like life and death. Like people just
Would you say ungrateful or like
don't don't like themselves, don't not comfortable with themselves,
That's true.
just
True that.
don't know how to deal with your flaws and live with your flaws, and they just want to fix everything type shit. So,
Talking about like being alone and stuff like
yeah,
that. Because some people, I think loneliness gets more people than anything, you know,
hmm
or like the thought of just like being alone, or just like because like if you're not good with yourself, bro, you ain't gonna be good with nobody.
hmm
You know what I'm saying?
you don't
And
be comfortable.
mm, and I think that, I don't know if it comes from like a place of like a lot of people just have a lot of pride in themselves nowadays. Because I mean, there's nothing wrong with having pride in yourself,
hmm
but also you gotta know that there's sometimes like again, like I'm wrong. You know, like
hmm
there's times when I'm wrong. There's
hmm
times when I'm right, but also times where I can admit that hey, I was wrong. I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And you know, I think like a lot of people just like again, like I think we've gotten to that point so far where a lot of people might be wrong, but they don't want to admit it.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Because it's too prideful,
Yeah.
and then they look like a fool. And like, but it comes from again like the world, like when someone's wrong, everybody's so afraid of making a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But like that's just human nature, bro. You know, about that. It went back to that little I was talking about earlier, or like just in general, where you just like we've ushered in this technology age so fucking fast.
So, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To the point where like with computers, there's certain ways like computers and phones work and stuff like that, right?
hmm
And that's why I realized what an NPC was, the non-player characters. Cause I really thought about it. I was like, yeah, like a non-player character. Say someone's like just a computer character. Anything outside of what they know, they don't know how to react to.
hmm
They don't know how to handle it. It's just like a computer.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, whoa.
If it's not in their programming,
Everybody's just in like a survival mode of like, it's like a weird gratification survival mode.
hmm
You know what I mean? It's not even like some people skip. Like, I was there too, like skipping meals and stuff, like not taking care of yourself.
hmm
And it's like because you want something else. You know what I'm saying? And it's like right now I'm getting back down to the basic functions of like I say being human, but like again just like going to the gym. I think like I talked about the other night. I don't know if it's a thing of like we should bring back societal standards. You know,
hmm
'cause I think like standards are just kind of like an afterthought nowadays. You know, because everybody think again to fit a standard you have to work for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
think like a lot of people just I don't necessarily think like
Well, you said if you to fit a standard, you gotta work for it.
to fit some kind of standard you like
Well, fit a standard out of your normal standard is you gotta work for it.
exactly that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think like I think the basic standard of just being a person nowadays is just like having a job and paying your bills. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And treat people with respect. And I think that it goes back to kind of like the issue of entitlement. You know what I mean?
So you said issue of entitlement.
Entitlement issue. Like because everybody thinks they should just get it because I'm here. I'm on Earth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm alive. I should have it. You know, because like,
You gotta put some work in.
you know. But also, I think like
A lot of people just like they're born into a situation and they just automatically have it.
mm-hmm.
But for us who are not born in a situation where we are blessed with like money or whatever we want, we have to work for it and have to go out and get it and have to find ways to get it. And just like living life basically. And I feel like people are just losing. They don't have like a goal or a certain thing they just want to do, and that's like when you don't know what you want to do or what you want to achieve, you have no direction, so you're just complacent. So if you have like a goal, you can take steps towards that goal. And a lot of people are just so stuck like in the internet and just not in reality that they don't even know where they're headed and don't know where they want to go.
I think it's another thing of like realizing what's for you and what's not.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the biggest thing because everybody's just got to this point where like even me, I got to the point where I was just so accepting of everything. You know what I mean? Where it's just where really it's some shit that I just innately don't. I know I innately don't accept it, but to get along better with everybody, it's like, well, might as well just go with it, whatever, right? And it's like there's times where it's like, no, bro, you can say no to certain shit. It's like the thing I put on my Snapchat the other day. It was like called the paradox of tolerance.
Paradox of tolerance.
The tolerance paradox, because it's like if we're tolerant to everything, then the intolerant ideas will take over. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
vibrating.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're tolerant to everything, it's like the intolerant ideas have a chance to say, like, well, yeah, well, like this is my idea. You should tolerate it because you're tolerant. And it's like it's weird because like to be tolerant, you have to be intolerant of intolerance in order to have a tolerant society.
To be tolerant, you had to be intolerant of tolerance. You guys say it one more time.
Yeah. So it's like let me just pull up the actual like. Yeah, it's like the paradox of like, because it's really a paradigm. It's like, hold on. It's like, was it on Twitter? Memes? No. I think I got it from social media. Here we go, right there. It's philosopher Karl Popper. And it's like, should a tolerant society tolerate intolerance? And it brings up like the Nazis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you want more tolerance, respect my ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're being tolerant, you should respect everybody's ideas, right?
Yeah.
And the answer is actually no.
It sounds like more of like a systematic tolerance. So if you're not within the system, if you're not following the rules of the system, then you're intolerant. And that's kind of how I'm kind of getting at.
But it said unlimited tolerance can lead to the extinction of tolerance in general.
Unlimited tolerance can lead to the what?
It's like unlimited tolerance can lead to the extinction of tolerance in general. So when we extend tolerance to those who are openly intolerant, the tolerant ones end up being destroyed and the tolerance with them. You know, that makes sense.
So if you accept a certain amount,
if you accept intolerance,
then you're gonna eventually become intolerant.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
that
so,
makes sense though.
But any movement that preaches intolerance and persecution must be outside of the law. But it says like it's paradoxical, but as it may seem, defending tolerance requires to not be tolerant to the intolerant.
Because you have to relate to the intolerant people to make them view the tolerant, or the way that you're viewing your tolerance or whatever, the same way. So you have to kind of go down to their level to get them up to your level and trying to walk them up to your level.
This was in 2020 when I saved this meme too.
Dang.
Right, like, but also at the same time, bro, like all the shit that was going on. That's why it made so much sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, cause it goes back to like knowing what's for you and what's not for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it kind of goes back to like in a societal sense, what's for us as a community or as just a society and what's not for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because on a societal level, it's hard because there's groups of everybody who think that certain things should be for us. You know what I'm saying?
It's through life is just trial and error. You gotta try things out, and if it doesn't work out, you gotta either
keep it pushing, charge to the game.
Keep it pushing, or keep trying, or you just gotta forget about it and move on. And that's just living. It's part of living.
Right. Man, but at the end of the day, to wrap this podcast up, bro, we all need to stop giving a fuck.
Yeah.
In general, like, or give them with care.
Yeah, it's
give
some
them.
things you shouldn't go out your way to care about because it's not aligned with what you're trying to do necessarily.
Well, because there's a limited amount of. It kind of goes into that same thing of tolerance because like there's a limited amount of cares you can give in the world, right?
You can't care about everything.
Exactly. There's a very, very finite amount. Because, like, once you start caring about everything, bro, who the fuck are you?
You can't save everybody, my nigga.
You can't save it, but you can get that bag, though. Hey, shout out to Larry June, bro. Larry June be speaking, like, anything that like, guys need to hear about getting on their feet, bro, getting their self out the gutter, bro, like... I mean, like, I know he used to, like, he's a rapper and everything, but, like, he actually listens to some of the stuff. He's like, bro, like, what was it? Quit worrying about these other get you a rollie? Get you a rollie? Like, bro, like, it's seriously, like.
Put you on that grind.
Exactly. And it's like, you realize, like, you got to also, like, admit that, oh, I'm not perfect. You gotta kind of admit that I ain't shit.
You want to be perfect so bad.
You gotta admit that you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, you're at a spot to where, like, you're not happy, you know? And a lot of people just don't want to admit that either. Like, I'm not satisfied, you know? I think there's a mix between satisfaction and knowing satisfaction and I don't want to say satisfaction and because they're kind of the same. Would you say satisfaction and gratification the same thing? Google.
Satisfaction and gratification.
Yeah. Hold on.
Satisfaction is like I'm satisfied. Like if you eat a lot and you're like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm done. Like satisfied. Then gratification is like showing like I want to say
Satisfaction. Can't
satisfaction.
say words for shit. Satisfaction or gratification. It says satisfaction occurs usually after fulfillment of a desire, but gratification occurs mostly when you realize the importance of things that you possess. Ooh. That's some spitting, nigga. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna say it one more time. Satisfaction occurs usually after fulfillment of desire, but gratification occurs mostly when you realize the importance of the things that you possess. Wow, there's a whole PDF document on it. Hold on.
Dang.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Satisfaction is a fulfillment or of a need or desire, the pleasure obtained by such fulfillment. Gratification is the act of gratifying, pleasing either the mind, the taste, appetite, as the gratification of the appetites, of the senses, of the desires of the heart. That which affords pleasure, satisfaction, enjoyment, fruition, and delight. Satisfaction is okay. Here it goes. So, like in actual context, satisfaction is I have enough. Gratification is I'm happy for the things I have.
Okay. Yeah,
Satisfaction occurs usually after fulfillment. Yeah. So yeah.
So it's like, oh, I ate a lot. Oh, I had enough.
I'm satisfied. I'm good. I'm satisfied. You know what I'm saying?
Or it's like, I ate a good amount. I'm not trying to eat too much.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's like being being okay.
yeah,
You know?
okay.
Because like just being
not always okay, not always good.
it's not a bad thing either.
Yeah,
It's like it's that's another thing like a lot of people say is like it's okay to not be okay. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of people are scared to admit that I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even I remember I think you remember when I had it was a little I thought it was gonna be like a church discussion thing. I think I told you about this. I thought it was gonna be a church. I met the guys when I was at the coffee shop studying, and they who's ended up being like a whole church group thing.
Was the black dude?
It was one black dude, but it was one other white. It was a white dude who was mainly like trying to get me into it.
Yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about though.
But it was like I forgot where I was going with that shit. It was like damn, I forgot what I was finna say about that. Like
relate to gratitude and satisfaction.
it kind of was. Oh no, yeah. So it was so then he invited me to this little like the way he described it. It ended up being a Bible study, which was not what I was expecting. I brought my Bible just because I was like, okay, I got it, you know.
Yeah.
But I was expecting it to be more of like a perspective talk of like, okay, you believe in Christianity, you believe in other philosophies, you believe in science, you believe in Christianity, you believe Islamic. I thought it was gonna be something like that, and then we all trying to get to one common ground, right? Yeah, no, it was nothing like that. And it was like it was me and there was another guy in there that was just confused. Like this is nothing. This is nothing like I thought was gonna happen, right? I ended up talking to him and like for a long time after the whole entire thing ended, and he was coming from the science part of like the brain and everything, and he was talking about like Alzheimer's and dementia, but also how like the key lies in our memories. You know what I'm saying? And how we remember things. Yeah, our memories and how we remember things, how we perceive things, or how things are perceived in our memory.
The key to what?
The key to really kind of like being happy with your life. Because a lot of times people blame things that are outside of themselves, other people, outside circumstances, things that happened. And he was talking about how like the reverse, like it was something. I've talked to him for like a good while. I should have got his info because like, but he came with his textbooks, brain, but everything. And he's
Mhm.
talking about, but really he's talking about like the pure gratification of just being alive. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And just without like having to have something else to strive for, but just purely being happy with just life in general.
Mhm.
And he even asked me, he's like, "Are you happy?" I was like, honestly, right now, that was a time when I was like, I was in a spot. I was like, hell no, I'm not happy with myself right now. I'm not happy with shit.
Yeah.
And but even then, just having that conversation with him, bro, like, it reminded me, like, yo, this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is what you do, and like, also, like, again, being just okay, and
Mhm.
not having to like always go for something else, and not always have something else to strive for, or not always trying to push something that on the world or something like that. Just kind
Mhm.
of like being okay with yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think that's what Maury was hitting on. But yeah, same thing with like the gratification thing, and we saw that kind of like going back to like religion and stuff. We saw that kind of balance between like we kind of felt like we had more open minds to what even the Bible was saying
Mhm.
versus the people who were around us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
We were a lot more open minded about stuff.
Yeah.
Which
A lot of things. I think a lot like what pushes people away from the Bible or Christianity or whatever is mainly
rules,
because yeah, because
perceive rules.
when you tell some people like you can't do this and if you do that you're wrong. That's like it's like dang. It's kind of like hurtful in a way.
It's hurtful, and it's like, yo, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah, just like
Yo, what the fuck do I do?
I've been doing this for so many years.
Like, I know I should do that, but then the people who are good
Mhm.
and righteous and right
I don't even
are
like
exactly. So it's like, and I guess it's like
act worse than I do.
it's confusing, but like, and I think that's why a lot of people just get so mad when you mention religion or like, well, God's not real. Like, people literally say that God's not real. They'll say God. Like, people don't even like the word God no more. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Not even talking about like, you might not even talking about religion. You talk about
Mhm.
the God, like Roman mythology or something like that.
Yeah.
When you say God in any kind of sense, people are like, God's not real. There's no God. And it's like, damn,
Like,
nigga,
who
what
hurt you?
and it's like
Yeah.
a lot of people would describe God as like me, like the God and the universe are interchangeable for me. You know what I'm saying? And even then, like we said earlier, like we're all like That's why like Charlemagne the God, like because we're all like small like demigods, because we're all in God. We're all created in that image. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's why I tell people like when it comes like people are like, well, I accept Jesus in my heart, and it's like, yeah, accepting Jesus in your heart is one thing, but you got to remember that Jesus was also given his own purpose from God.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not on the same walk as that Jesus was on.
Exactly.
It's like
Different purpose.
exactly, and it's one thing to love, you know, the story of the story of Jesus' crucifixion and knowing that he died on the cross for all of our
Bro,
sins and stuff
I
like
heard
that.
something about like some like the Bible is not even like everything that went down in that time. Like it's like missing like essentially like missing books of the Bible and missing stories. I was like,
It might
that's
be it might
crazy.
be inaccurate. No one ever thought like,
Maybe this is
maybe this
not
is only we never took into account that like. Because within reality, like there's the way you see things, there's the way I see things, and there's reality. It's a
Mhm.
third thing. You know what I'm saying? And like that's one thing we forget is like
It's kind of weird too, cause like even some science books change. Like
exactly.
the main stuff in the science books probably don't change, but there's some new discoveries that change and that change like the whole like spectrum of science. And so when you say something is constantly the same, it retains the every
this man here.
yeah, it retains the like now and retain to stuff that's happening 100 years from now is like it's like kind of crazy I think, but
Literally, the first page of this book literally says The universe is in no obligation to make sense to you.
Exactly.
There's in no obligation. Same thing with God. It's the same thing. Like same thing we hear in church. We used to hear in church all the time. Is that like, oh, God works in mysterious ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Sometimes you don't understand why God's doing it, but you know what? He's doing it.
Yeah.
Same thing with that, bro.
Yeah.
It's like there's no, that's why I use the universe and God as interchangeable, because like there's no, it's not supposed to necessarily make sense, but we're supposed to make sense of it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I say somehow, but I mean, it all comes down again. It all comes down to you, and that's why like I push that like I'm put like going more like along the lines of like esocentric religion, because again I think that just from a scientific standpoint as well, it's like in our own, because we all live in our own universe. Like I can't walk in your shoes and you can't walk in mine,
Mm-hmm.
but we can still sit here and talk and just share universes, right?
Yeah.
And so, and it's like, what was I trying to say with that? It's like you're the god of you're the god of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like things don't necessarily have to make sense to you either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as long as you stick to whatever purpose that the overall big picture gave you. Because like everybody, like I was watching some trash guys take out the trash the other day, and I remember a rapper said a lyric. He's like everybody's all these people are in your life to keep you from taking a loss. And it's like, damn, I could be that trash man right there, bro.
Yeah.
I could be sitting there picking up trash.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? But he's sitting there doing it so I don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and it's like, again, like it makes it a little bit more of like, I think that's gratification right there. True gratification and true gratitude is like, even then, like even picking up the trash so he didn't have to do it harder. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already doing this for me. Why am I gonna make him do more shit for me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, and even then, like he might be doing it for himself because he gotta get paid too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gotta get paid. It's probably the easiest thing for him to do.
A lot of people don't have that empathy for people though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to put their self in other people's shoes, and it's like that. It's like we're all if you don't try to be empathetic to like some extent, it's like we're all battling against each other, and it's like we all fighting against each other. Like we should be here trying to help each other, trying to make life easier for everybody around us or whoever.
I think that the empathy went too far again with like feeling other people's feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, you should feel what I feel. I can't feel what you feel. You know what I'm saying?
When people say when say empathetic is like feeling other people's feelings, I kind of think of it as like trying to understand like somebody's feelings, like because you not always understand somebody's feelings, but you're trying to see where that person is coming from and try to not trying to be in that person's shoes, but
at least understand.
Yeah, try to understand and like try to listen to that person and see like why are they making this like a deal or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But even then, like a lot of people ain't gonna understand us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's hard to when you not in the actual person's shoes.
And I'm working more with like just cause I know how I know how to talk to people, but I guess for me personally, I'm working more of like realizing what I'm saying and why I'm saying it, and within that same saying is like how to get to the bottom. How to more or less, I sugarcoat a lot. I talk around subjects a lot, but it's like how to get down to like the actual hit the meat of like what I'm trying to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like, cause I am a blunt person, like to the point where sometimes it's like I'm kind of vain sometimes, and it's like it's like I'm not. It's not because of that. It's just kind of like a way of like I don't necessarily I'm the things I say I hold true. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But also there's that level of like I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because something out there might tell me completely different from something that's going on in just my head or just within my realm of my room.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Has their own different situations. Like somebody got hit by a laptop when they was like 3 years old, and they was like, "Oh, laptops hurt people. Laptops hurt people." Like, nah, laptops don't hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
You got hit by a laptop, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't people just have different perspectives of the world based on what they experienced and what they've been through.
That's why,
Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about like letting go and stuff. And like, bro, letting go is the hard. I literally had a dream like that, like bunch of like just like about talking about like letting go, and it's like letting go seems hard because you're not like once you're not attached to anything, you're just free. But
Mhm.
it's like freedom, like actual freedom. It's like whoa, what is? It's like it seems like, but when you actually have freedom to do like whatever you want to do or actually feel that sense of freedom, bro, you're just a person at that point, and
Mhm.
you're really kind of living in yourself, you know.
I think it's how we should all just naturally be naturally living, but
Like, it's the difference between like being like I said it to myself like care is careful, which is anxiety,
mhm.
is careless, which I would say like there's no real way to like say careless, but then there's like again carefree. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like how can we all be like in a sense of being carefree? You know, I think again like same way with how like somebody if someone comes in like if I'm working or something and they have like in a bad mood or they have like a bad attitude something sometimes I get like I'm at that point like okay like what the fuck wrong with you like you know
Yeah.
but like, I gotta remember like I really have to I did it before one time like someone kind of like gave me a weird look. I'm like, and in my head, I'm thinking like, "What are you looking at?" Like,
Yeah.
and it's like at the same time, it's like I just take a breath. It's like
Bro, that's
they're just in here to buy something. They're just in here to buy something.
I've been that's like I've been really good with that like throughout my life, just kind of like brushing things off and not letting other people's like emotions affect my emotions.
Mm.
It's just like I don't know if like that's how I was like raised or it's a way I was raised or whatever, but I've been really good to being kind of like not letting people get to me like super like deep to where it affects my day or ruin my day type
Mm.
shit.
Mm. It's also a thing of like a lot, just like control it. Again, it goes back to everything we're talking about, just like purely the self of just being in control of what you can control.
Mm.
Cause like even like the old school like ancient philosophers from like Greek Greek and like Roman like mythology. Well, just like before modern times, talking about how like the Stoics and stuff like that, about how they would like stoicism in the sense of like it makes you seem like nothing really bothers you, even though shit might bother you, but like you
Mhm.
realize that like at the end of the day, bro, then the big picture it really doesn't matter, you
Yeah.
know. And it's like it goes back to that of like just controlling what you can control, because everything outside of you, sad to say it, is out of control. The whole world is out of
Yeah.
control. Let's be real.
Mhm.
But the only place again, like the only thing we are in control of is ourselves and our perception. So I mean, like, and that's where I'm at right now. It's like, what do our people need to hear? And by our people, not just black people,
Mhm.
but our people, just like in humanity in general, you know. And it's like, but also like, what do I want people to hear me say?
Like just one thing, because it's a bunch of stuff we can just like that people just need to hear. But for one thing, I gotta think.
I think, I think, I think, just getting more and more people's perspective is that one thing we need to hear is other people's perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is that there's other wait.
If you hear somebody else like opinion about something,
Mm-hmm.
it builds your understanding. So maybe
There's like not even perspective on like like I said relation. All you get on here is just relationships and just shit that doesn't matter. But like everybody's perspective on just what life is, you know, and like how to really kind of fit. Because I think just on a general, and I say it mainly just might be here in our modernized society where we have so much shit that we just don't know what to do with sometimes. But I mean, what do we all need to hear to kind of, I guess, help us all seem like we're all on the same page? I don't know.
that's a hard question.
Maybe it's a maybe it's just a big dream of mine. You know,
Yeah.
maybe this is a big dream of mine. But also, I mean, shit, dreams can become reality. So, I think the more and more I just talk to people, is just the more I just am able to kind of like see the actual big picture. You know what I'm saying? Of like just what life is and what the real kind of purpose of life is, just on an innate level for us humans. And your purpose, your purpose for life, for you, is something completely different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Than like what the purpose for everybody in the general grand scheme of things might be. But also, like I said, like are we just on the crash course of just letting the nature of the beast take us too? You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like I guess we'll figure it out whenever time comes. You know what I'm saying? But also, I think the biggest thing is that like just to tell people that everything is not as bad as it seems, bro. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it may seem like everything's so fucking negative. Everything's like everything around us is crumbling, and again, everything is out of our control. Yes, it is out of our control, but it's okay. You know, and I think that a lot of people just need to hear that, like it's okay. Because those people are just people. And we just kind of live.
That is a good one. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can be generalized like somebody getting mad about what somebody said, like, bro, it's okay. It's like
It's okay, bro.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Or
it's fine.
somebody's going through something that's hard, and like they feel like this is like the worst day of their life. Like, bro, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Get better. So yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shoot, I think I'll leave that. We've been on this. Was an hour and 16 minutes now.
Hour 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, we good. I'll tell you, sometimes podcasts, bro, we just go and go. We just
talk,
get
yeah.
lost in it.
Try to give some knowledge, some different perspectives, ways to think.
Yeah. Yeah, so this podcast is going to be on Twitch stream. This is on a Twitch stream right now, but it's also going to be on YouTube as well. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this podcast. Let me know what you think people need to hear in this world. Let me know what you think about life. Oh, that's just a little like thing from Twitch and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, also we streamed the album last week too as well. New album out, new EP out.
Yeah.
It's Tapes from Matt Right 3.
Tapes from Matt Right 3.
3, the third album.
And, the EP is Unmasked, MRB, Diverse Sound. But yeah, you just give it a listen. Let me know what you think. I'm not really on social media other than the weekend, so just hit me up and just let me know what you think.
Yeah, don't forget to like this video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and subscribe to my Twitch too as well. And just be on the lookout for more new shit I'm doing. I might play some chess tonight, honestly. So we'll see what happens.
I've been taking L's in chess, bro.
Hey man,
Yesterday I took an L, bro. I was so discouraged.
it happens, bro. Trust me, I'll be getting my ass whooped. But you ever got whooped in 4 moves, bro? Bro, it's like damn. It's like you sitting there just like shit. Like even like when I'm playing on here, like guys want to come play and like I'm about a 600, 700 rating.
Mm-hmm.
And like they gonna play me, bro. They damn near like 1,500, 1,900 rating. I'm like, God damn! Like, why do y'all want to play? Why y'all just want an easy win like this? But yeah.
Yeah, you say I made one bad move and it just went down.
Down. That's life for you, bro. That is life right there.
One bad move.
I'm telling you, bro. You gotta move correctly out here, bro. That's his life in jail. You make one wrong move, bro. It's just boom, can send down a whole chain of reactions. It's just like that. You ain't expecting either. But also, you can know how to get out of it too.
Yeah.
You can know how to make up for it you make a blunder, you come back with a brilliant ass move, and you might win the game, bro. I am not gonna lie to you, but that's why I'm gonna dive more into chess because chess literally works like life does, bro. So, all right, but yeah. In the meantime, y'all listen to this podcast, listen to my other podcasts, listen to his music, and be more open and go outside, go touch some grass. All right, y'all be easy. Peace.